All right, so welcome back. Today I'm going to continue doing my review on Think and Grow Rich. Today we're going to be talking about specialized knowledge, okay? So I'll give you guys examples of things that happened in my life, and you know that I love this book. This is one of the best books ever. The more you read it, the more you just connect new neurons in your brain, and you're just like, wow, I've just got to download because I've been reading this book over and over again, right? So every time you pick it up, that's what happens. Like I always pick it up, I leave it and I pick it up and I get new insights every time. It's weird how that works. But anyways, let's get into it, okay? The author, Napoleon Hill, starts off by talking about general versus specialized knowledge. Right off the bat, he's going into talking about our school system versus specialized knowledge, right? So our school system teaches general knowledge, right? You learn a lot of facts and figures about a whole bunch of different areas, but you don't really specialize in one per se, right? It's it's broad, right? So that's general knowledge. You know, people that know a whole bunch of facts but they don't use it for anything, that's general knowledge. Reading the news all day so you can accumulate facts, that's general knowledge. It's data, it's not information, you know what I mean? So specialized knowledge is something you know something about something very specific, okay? So something like real estate investing. So when I started investing real estate, the reason I was able to do relatively well is because I went to investment groups. When I went to all these investment groups, what happened is people started sharing knowledge, specialized knowledge, right? So I started investing in real estate. If I didn't do that, I would have wasted a lot of money through trial and error. Doesn't make sense. So you have to go out and get specialized knowledge. Okay, so he talks about knowledge as a potential power. I alluded to this before. You have to put knowledge into a plan. If you don't put knowledge into a plan, what happens generally is that it doesn't take off. It's at the stop point. You just stop. Okay, so you need to make sure that you understand that knowledge is only potential power. You need to take action with that, and you need to put things into plans. Right? What the school system doesn't teach or do a good job with is it gives us a whole bunch of tests. So we've been accustomed to grading ourselves based off the tests. And then, you know, not a lot of people get 100%. So right off the bat, if we get 90%, 85%, you're like, oh my God, there's a bit that I'm still lacking. You know what I mean? And school teaches in steps, right? They always say you need to finish grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, and then go to high school, university, etc., and then you can get a job. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. You can do a job by learning something so simple. That's why there's so many young kids that are making a whole bunch of money nowadays, because you need to let go of that whole paradigm of you need to climb up ladders, right? You don't. Okay? So potential power, remember that. Okay, so it goes on to Thomas Edison and Henry Ford. The book says that they weren't very educated people. Thomas Edison's mom had to take him out of school because they kind of kicked him out. And then Thomas Edison's mom made up a story saying that, you know, he's a special kid, I'm going to like homeschool you. And he let him like experiment with a whole bunch of stuff, and he was a genius, right? So he learned something that the school system didn't, which is persistence, right? And it's not about writing tests, it's about doing the activity, right? Henry Ford. So there was someone that claimed that Henry Ford was an uneducated person, and Henry Ford sued them for whatever reason, just, you know, for libel or whatever it is. So he sued them, and then he went to court, and they asked him a whole bunch of random questions about world wars and all this stuff, and then he's like, Henry Ford's like, why would I need to know all these random facts? It doesn't impact me, right? But if I needed to know the answer to those questions, those ridiculous questions that you're asking me, I have like a buzzer right underneath my desk where if I press it, I'll be able to get any answers from any of my associates, right? So right off the bat, it shows how powerful Henry Ford is, right? And he didn't go to school. All right? So, okay, number 4 is purchase knowledge. And this alludes to this as well. Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, they surrounded themselves with specialized knowledge, right? They were able to purchase knowledge, basically. Okay, so they were able to get into places. For example, Henry Ford was able to get into people with like that knew about tires, that knew about all these other things. He just placed them in people. He just basically had the vision, and then he went out and got people that knew all those things that he had to do. It's the same thing in today's society, right? Like Elon Musk, right? Think about it. What Elon Musk is doing right now, right? He's doing the same thing that Henry Ford did, but on a different scale. Okay, he's using technology to his advantage as well. He doesn't know everything, but he knows where to get the knowledge. He's a smart guy. He puts it together. But the fact of the matter is, he knows where to go and get it, right? Okay, so you have to be able to purchase knowledge. So I'll give you an example from my life, okay, to hit the point home. So basically, when I started investing in real estate, I'm not a handy guy. I don't know how to do a lot of handy stuff. Like, I hate fixing stuff. I know nothing about homes, right? But I get people around me that know a lot about homes, and they help me out. Realtors, contractors, etc. Yeah, I pay money for that, but you know what? My return on investment's so high, it doesn't matter if I pay money for that. You know what I mean? I'm able to like focus on other things now because that's more passive, if that makes any sense. Okay, so purchase knowledge. Okay, starting at the bottom. It talks about a good case about starting at the bottom and how it's detrimental for people, especially young men. Okay, so it says that when you're at the bottom, it's hard to see your way at the top. You'll be stuck at that paradigm forever. Okay, and he says that keeps a lot of people at bay. This is very true. Okay, when I started in the corporate world, what happened? I joined this firm called Accenture. It was one of the most tiered structure, like really like works you to the bone type of environment. You'd hate it. Okay, and they paid very little, and your mind would be filled with so much stuff. When you got home, you'd be stressed about work. Okay, I did that for about 8 months, and then I quit. I was like, this is ridiculous. No amount of money is worth it for this. Okay, so what am I trying to tell you is that I couldn't see myself becoming an executive level at the executive level. I didn't like it. That wasn't my thing, and I was just like, this is too hard to climb that ladder. I'd rather just make my own reality by investing in real estate and having a lifestyle where I'm speaking to you guys, right? That's what I wanted all this time. Okay, so I didn't want to see that, and I knew I had to figure out a different plan. Right? So that kind of motivated me, but a lot of people, what they would do is they'd be like, man, I'm never going to get there, and they won't be as ambitious. Okay, don't let that get to you. Okay, there's always, you can make yourself out of the corporate world, you can get yourself out of that if that's what you want. Just put a game plan together. It's easy. Once you know how easy money is to make, you change your paradigm about making money only at your house to I can make it in different ways. Your mind just shifts, and then you're able to solve that problem, because that's how powerful your mind is, right? So starting at the bottom, if you're at the bottom, it's either you visualize yourself at the top, or you figure out a different way out of it. Okay, that's it. Mastermind. Okay, it talks about the importance of mastermind. I'll get into more details because we have a section in this book about the mastermind. But the mastermind is basically like getting yourself surrounded with people that know what they're doing and like-minded people. Okay, so like-minded people, for example, real estate groups. For me, that helped significantly when I was doing my journey, right? When I was doing my real estate journey. Okay, so getting around people that are like-minded is like batteries being charged in the room. It's just like so much energy about the same thing. Solutions will come up. Okay, all right. Number 7, the final point I wanted to talk to you about is that idea is few. It should say ideas are few, but idea is few. Okay, so what is he trying to say with this? Is that it's not the money, it's not the talent. There's an abundance of that. There's people willing to do anything. You can always buy it. Okay, right? Everything is abundant, but the only thing that's few are ideas. Okay, so think how profound that is. Ideas, right? So, and I get hacked for this, because when I started investing in real estate when I was 23, 22, around that age. That's when I started investing in real estate. And people are always just like they always said, Sen, you didn't do all of that. Like, I gave you money. My dad would say that, right? But I would tell them, I'm like, if it wasn't for me, you and me wouldn't have invested in that property at a young age and now getting a really, really good return. And it's like tripled in value, right? That was my idea to do that. Like, that's worth more than what you gave me now. Do you get that? So idea is few. Okay, but resources are plenty. Okay, so yeah, that's a very profound. If you can understand that, you'll get a lot from that. Ideas few. It just takes someone to connect the dots. Okay, and that's not the hard. If you know how to do it, it's not the hardest. But it's people don't look at it that way. They look at working for things. Like in my real estate career, like investing career, if I went and did all the little few jobs around, etc., I would be wasting my time and I would hate doing it. I'd rather just have the idea of buying it and making sure that the money is enough so that I can pay for repairs and put it back in. You know what I mean? So yeah, ideas few, but resources are plenty. All right? Okay, so think about that. Anyways, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, Specialized Knowledge. San Vivek. I'll see you guys later.